Hi, I'm Casey with Nectar Flow Yoga, and I want to share with you today a really short and sweet flow that you can do post-workout. What I love about this sequence is that you do not need a mat. You won't be spending any time really on the ground, and you can keep your running shoes on. So for me, I just went on a 3-mile run, and this is what I like to do as a little supplement to my run. So it does have some strength, added flexibility, and it helps to awaken some of those muscles that have maybe kind of shut down if you're doing some of the same repetitive motions like running or cycling. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Come to a nice neutral stance. So feet are about hips width, which is about 2 fist widths apart. And you want to really have the weight evenly balanced between your big toe mounds and your heels. So if you're in running shoes, this is a little harder to check in with. You also want to feel the outer edge, the pinky edge of your foot grounding down. So see if you can really root down. Soft bend in your knees, and we'll do a few half salutations adding on and building up as we go. You'll bend your knees as you inhale, reach, extend through your fingertips. Really important to feel length through the pinkies. Belly is up and in. Feel your chest expand on that inhale. Belly draws in on the exhale. We'll take one more inhale here, setting ourselves up, paying attention to a nice neutral pelvis. I'm not sticking my booty back, but I'm not tucking the tailbone. And then on your exhale, bend your knees, fold over with a flat back. No rounding in the spine. And then here we'll let the head just go. Super important to let the head feel weighted, and that creates some traction along the spine. Exhale, fold, lip, deeply rise all the way up to stand. On an exhale, we'll take a side bend over to the right. Kick your hips over to the left as you do this. And then bend your right knee, step your left foot behind your right leg, and you'll feel a lot of length in the left side body. So I'm going to turn to the front here so you can see. Again, I'm bending that front right knee and stepping that left foot out, kicking hips over to the left. Inhale up through the middle. Exhale, step your right foot behind your left. Bend your left knee. All this length in my right side body. Gaze up inside the inner right elbow versus collapsing that right shoulder down. Inhale up through the middle. And then exhale, bent knees, flat back, fold over. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, step your left foot behind your right, bend your right knee deeply, maybe even walk your fingertips over to the right to deepen this stretch, or just stay neutral with the spine. For me, I feel a ton of feedback in my left IT band, which gets really tight after a run. Inhale up halfway, step your left foot in line with your right. Exhale, right foot steps behind left, bend your left knee, and deeply forward fold. Maybe walk your fingertips over to the left. Head and neck release. Really important here in these forward folds. Inhale up halfway, length in your spine. Step your right foot to meet your left. Deep exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, sit your hips. Inhale, rise. On an exhale, we open, twist to the right. And when on this first twist, you can let the right hip kind of drape back, but then slowly start to push the right hip forward, draw left hip in line with right. Inhale, reach up through your fingertips. Exhale, open, twist to the left. Push your left hip forward. Again, find that engagement in the arms by reaching length through the fingertips. My arms aren't lax. I'm getting some work here in the upper body. Inhale up through the middle. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway up. This time, plant your right hand directly underneath your face and inhale, twist. Right knee bends, left leg goes straight, and you find, again, a lot of length here on the left side. We're reaching through those left fingertips, twisting our chest to the left side. One more inhale. Exhale, fold, left hand roots. Inhale, halfway up. Bend the left knee, extend the right fingertips, find this twist. Belly is up and in. One more inhale. Release. Low, rise up, chair pose. Exhale, cactus your arms. Feel engagement in the back body. Again, I'm not really pushing my tailbone back or sticking my booty out, nor am I exaggerating the tuck. I've got a nice neutral shape in my pelvis. On the next inhale, I'm going to reach my arms long and step my left foot back, coming into a crescent warrior shape. Big stretch in the left front hip, or the psoas area. Big bend and strengthener for the right thigh. Take one more inhale, reach, and then on an exhale, step the left foot up to meet the right. This is the strengthening portion here. Back to chair pose, cactus your arms. Inhale, step your right foot back, extend your arms. Several breaths here in crescent warrior. Sit low in your front left knee, reach and extend through the fingertips. Extending through the pinky accesses the tricep. Extending through the thumb accesses the bicep. One more inhale. Exhale, step the right foot up, sit low chair pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back to chair pose. This time, we'll inhale, extend the arms back, coming into this lightning warrior shape. Exhale, sit a little lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Drop your right arm heavy. Extend lots of length through the left fingertips. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, arms go back. Incline your spine. Inhale, reach. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Head and neck release. Inhale, come back to that chair pose shape. This time we exhale, open twist to the right, mirroring what we did in standing. Keep the arms as they are, the torso as it is. Step your left foot back. Inhale, exalt, reach. I'm extending through my left heel, bending deeply into my right. And then exhale, a prayer twist here to the right. Hands are at heart center. I'm looking past my right elbow, drawing my belly up and in and firing up my back left thigh. Look at your right foot. Step your left foot up to meet your right. And here we'll find this chair prayer twist. This is where it starts to get a little challenging, especially if your legs are tired from a previous workout. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swing your left arm back. Step your right foot back. Inhale, find an exalted warrior. Exhale, prayer twist. And if you need to, you can obviously take a break at any time. Pause the video, come back to a previous shape that felt good. Here, notice my hands are at my heart. I'm looking past my left elbow. Whoops. And then look down at your left big toe. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Chair prayer twist. One more inhale. Exhale. Unwind, unravel, forward fold. Bind of the forearms to the calves, head and neck release. Draw your shoulders up your back. Or if it's available, interlace your fingers. Draw the fingers overhead and find a deeper forward fold. Sit the hips low. Inhale, reach up, chair pose. Exhale, we'll reach back maybe for that bind. Crescent warrior, right side, right foot's forward. And then from here, unbind your arms, reach, warrior two. Several breaths, and again, work to extend through the fingertips to get that engagement in the upper body. I'm sitting nice and low in my front right thigh. I'm driving the pinky edge of my left foot down. My back left foot's on an angle. Inhale, reach. Lots of length in the right side body. Exhale, side angle pose. Now here you can kickstand the right elbow to the right thigh, A little more challenging would be to hover that arm. I like to press my arm inside of my knee to keep everything nice and open. Inhale, reverse and straighten your right leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Reach length through your left fingertips. Here we're going to inhale, reverse, again bending into the right knee, straighten the right leg, turn your right toes to point the same direction as your left, bend your knees and fold over with a flat back. Nice releasing wide leg forward fold after all of that lunging work. So what I love about yoga as it complements running is that we get these stretches that are engaged stretches, right? We're not just cranking ourselves into a position, kind of stretching the rubber band too thin and then allowing it to just snap right back. Instead, when we engage the muscles slightly as we lengthen them, we're doing ourselves great benefit. And it helps flush out some of the lactic acid too from a harder workout. Inhale, we halfway lift, bring your hands to your hips. And then here, a little more complicated movement. I want you to turn your left toes out on an angle. Lunge deeply into that left knee. If this is not available in the left knee or it's too much in the inner right thigh, you may be up here and that's fine. That's a little more strengthening. So we're here in what's called side Buddha lunge or Skandasana. Maybe you open the arms or just keep the hands at your heart. Maybe again you're up high. Regardless, we're going to walk ourselves forward and around to this runner's lunge with the left leg forward. I'm going to skip back so I'm still in the frame here. Left leg is forward, deep bend in that left knee. I'm getting a big stretch for my front right hip flexor. And then from here, I'm going to turn my left toes out on an angle, step my right foot outside of my right hand, also on an angle, and find a yogi squat. If this isn't available in your hips or knees, maybe you're up here, nice and high, like this, also very strengthening. We'll take one more inhale, and then turn the toes in. Exhale, a little wider leg forward fold here again. Bend your knees. Inhale, rise up to stand. And then from here, we'll exhale into that chair pose. From chair, option here to bind the arms at the low back as we step the right foot back. Inhale, lift the chest, sit low into the left knee. We'll reach, and then on your next exhale, find warrior two. Left side, it's the left knee bent this time. Reaching long through my left fingertips. I'm making sure my left knee is tracking over the tip of my shoe, not rotating in. And I'll show that from the side here as you hold your warrior two. So the tendency is for this left knee to collapse in. Check it out. You want to be able to see the inner edge of your left foot. So you've got that nice deep bend. You're pushing actively your left knee out to the left side. Inhale, reverse, find length. Exhale, side angle. Lots of reaching, length, expanding out in all directions. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Triangle pose. I like to keep a micro bend in my front left knee versus locking it out. For a second there, I defaulted to just locking out. So I've been doing this for a long time and I still have some compensations, make mistakes in my own body. Take one more inhale. And then on your exhale, this time let's just go ahead and sweep it around to this wide leg forward fold shape. Option to add on here, that bind of the hands at the low back, big shoulder stretch, head and neck release. So we're in that wide leg forward fold. We're going to take our hands to release if they're bound and bring them to our hips, bend our knees and rise up. And then I'll take my side Buddha lunge to the right side this time. Deep bend in my right knee. I take my hands to my heart, flexing and pointing my left toes toward the sky. Big stretch for the inner left thigh. Compression on the right side. One more inhale. And then on an exhale, go ahead and walk it around and take that runner's lunge. So hips are heavy, I'm rooting down to my feet, I'm magnetizing my right heel toward my left big toe mound to engage. One more inhale, and then on an exhale, step your left foot up to meet your right. We'll sit back into that yogi squat. This is a really great hip opener for, well, really for everybody. I was going to say for runners specifically, but I think this is a benefit to all. One more inhale. On your exhale, find a forward fold, head and neck release. And then we'll inhale, rise all the way up to stand, coming into some standing balance. One reason why I really love standing balance for runners is that it's a way to engage our fast twitch muscles differently from what we do when we're moving forward. So that shaking, that stabilizing, those are actually your fast twitch muscles kicking in. So giving us, again, a greater sense of balance as well. So we'll start with eagle pose. You'll root down into your left leg. Notice anytime we shift our weight into one side, the tendency is to kick the hips out. I want you to keep everything hugging into the midline. You'll lift your right knee, cross your midline, bend your left knee like you're coming into chair pose, and then maybe those right toes root down on the earth. Maybe the shoelaces wrap around the calf. Then we'll take the right arm underneath the left arm over the right. Stay there or bind into eagle arms. So eagle arms, we've got the hands bound here, the forearms are squeezing together, elbows squeezing together, lots of space between the shoulder blades, and I'm sitting nice and low, squeezing my right thigh on top of my left. And I'm going to turn so you can see how I'm really focusing on stacking my spine versus collapsing and rounding. Go ahead and inhale, unwrap your arms, reach long, lift your right leg, exhale, float your right leg back. So we're in an airplane shape here. Now we have the option, and it's really important to keep your gaze on one spot, to stay right here. If this is too challenging, you can simply tap the right toes down, feeling all that strength in the right leg, and maybe play with hovering, or maybe bend that right knee, flex the right foot, and pulse, getting into the hamstring and the glute. About 10 of those, and then you'll rise up, hug your right knee in, squeeze in, and release. Eagle pose, opposite side. Again, rooting down through the line and through shoulder, hip, right heel. You'll lift your left leg, cross the midline, bend deeply into the right knee. Left toes can root on the earth, or shoelaces wrap around the right calf. And then again, left arm can go under now, right arm over, or maybe you wrap your eagle arms. And I'm looking out for my mic here. Several breaths, feeling that space between the shoulder blades, squeezing the legs together. From here, inhale, unravel the arms, lift the left leg, float back, airplane. Again, the option is kind of keeping that micro bend in the right knee, tap the left toes down and play with your balance that way. Or maybe you add on by bending the left knee, flexing the left foot, and about 10 pulses. Lift from the inner left thigh. And then we'll come back and release. All right, almost there. One last little sequence. One of my favorite poses, standing balance for runners, so we get a nice quad stretch. So we're just going to start with a traditional quad stretch. I want you to take your left foot into your left hand, push your left knee down, push your left hip forward, and then kick your foot into your hand and feel, and also the heel toward the glute, kind of feel into that stretch. Now this might be enough. Notice I'm kind of staying in a neutral shape here in my spine. Maybe you want to add on and bring this into a dancer pose. If so, you'll kick your foot into your hand and start to bring this into more of a back bend. Reach long through your right fingertips, kick your toes toward the sky. Find all that length. Set your gaze on one spot. One more inhale. Exhale. Release. And simply switch. Take your right foot into your right hand. Grabbing the outside of the foot to start. Pushing your right knee down toward the earth. Keeping your chest lifted. Pushing your right hip forward. And again, maybe you stay and breathe into that. Maybe you grab the inner part of the right foot. Kick your foot into your hand and expand into your dancer pose. One more. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, release. All right, last sequence. We'll step the left leg back just about 2 to 3 feet. Heel toe the right foot out. Turn the left toes out. Belly up and in. Inhale. Extend through your fingertips. Micro bend your right leg. Exhale, fold. Pyramid pose. Now, really important you keep your hips neutral here. The tendency is for the spine to kind of drape between the legs. I actually want you bringing your sternum toward your right shin. Draw your right hip crease up and back. Root down evenly through both feet, and you're letting your head and neck go. Inhale, come up halfway. Take your right hand to your right hip. Draw that right hip back. Extend length through the crown of your head, then twist. Now, option to stay right here. This is a pretty deep twist. It's requiring a decent amount of balance. If you're feeling strong and want a little more, shift your weight into your right foot. Hover your left leg for what's called revolved half moon. Super strong in my standing right leg. I'm going to extend my right fingers, and then maybe I stay here, or maybe you bend that left knee, flex the left foot, and take your pulses. Really use the low belly to stabilize. Lift through the inner left thigh. Little added quad stretch option here. One more inhale, look down. Exhale, release the left foot, forward fold. Rise all the way up. Step your right foot back, right toes out, reach long. Exhale, pyramid pose. You've got that hips width stance. So if the feet are in the same line, like on a tightrope versus train tracks, you won't be able to get the alignment of the hips like we need it. Several breaths. Again, if any of this feels like medicine, stay. Pause the video. Stay as long as you need to. From here, we'll inhale up halfway. Take your right hand ahead of your left toes. Left hand to left hip. Pull that left hip back. Root down into the left foot. And then twist open. From here, you can just stay right where you are, enjoying this twist, this stretch. Maybe find that revolved half moon shape. Staying and holding the balance, or bending the right knee and pulsing. Extend the right leg. Exhale, left hand down, right foot meets left, forward fold. Bend your knees, sit into a little ball pose. Round your chin toward your chest, squeeze and hug in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then bend your knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale your hands to your heart, and you're done. Thanks so much. Namaste.